sheets of paper?
No, I think it's a lot of them.
So has anyone looked into that, like what the deal is?
But we did call out.
I did talk to Chris at Minuteman.
Oh, did you?
Yes.
And it wasn't $45. It was, our letterhead has 3 colors in it, so it would be more. We get the 100 sheets. This will last us until the next board election, so it's not really that much. Sometimes when they just copy it, when it goes through the printers, it bleeds. Mm-hmm. So we have to get something more than just like a Xerox copy of our letterhead. And we've used Minuteman in the past. We've had bad luck with certain things. So Visographic, we've done throughout the years business with them. They have all our things already set up, so we don't have to pay
the setup fees,
the new starting fees, and that's why we've kind of stayed with them. We won't keep ordering the letterhead, but once we get it, then we're good for the next couple of years.
So this will hold us for a while, 100 sheets?
Yeah.
But I thought that there was a $75 setup fee involved in this. Is that something that maybe we could still get waived if you said that we've already paid for setup fees?
Well, there were changes though to the letterhead, but when they start from scratch, it's way more. Then there's your original
$75 setup fee is very standard in the industry. That's what I do. I mean, it's in, you know, even if you do large format billboard printing, or you're doing vehicle wraps, or you're doing, you know, one of these, there's always a setup fee because somebody in pre-press has to physically sit there and he has his time that he has to put into it. But $75 is a good rate for setup. I mean, I've seen $125 for setup, and if every time you go back to press, you have to do it.
Okay, so what I'm gathering from this is that
it just seems like
it was
a lot.
A charge, but the charge is substantiated. So I mean, it was a service, it was a product that we did go ahead and receive. You know, it's been noted that there is some concern over the cost. It does sound like you did do some research to try to find out the cost. Karen, I don't want to stop.
Oh no, that's okay. I was just going to say, because obviously you saw that was my question too. But then, yeah, you're paying double, $572 for 500 brochures.
What kind of brochure is that?
Our district brochures.
Which are tricolored. So it does seem excessive to me, I guess is my point. So I would just, and this is the second time that I questioned a visographic thing. So I don't know if we do any kind of forensic audit or anything with this, or, you know, do we call around next time if, you know, we want? I just think we need to be responsible. It seems like an exorbitant. $2.50 for a sheet of paper. You make a mistake, you just throw out $2.53, right? I mean, that seems silly.
All right, Gina, other things on the bills?
No, I think that was it.
I had one.
Mark, go ahead.
It's not numbered. It is. Trying to help out here. It's basically the gym, the down payment on the seepage in the middle school gym. Which gym was that, the old or the new?
The middle school.
Understood, but it has 2 gyms in the middle school. Which
The new
gym?
gym.
There was seepage in it?
It's the side of the gym that's, you know, that has the ground on the back, closer to the 5th grade wing. That part of the gym. So it needs some sealant in there. That's why we need to get that sealed.
Okay, so when you have down payment, what is the total bill? It's not numbered, Gina. It's it should be right there.
I got it. Don't
Should
worry.
be right there.
I got it.
I can find out for you.
Okay. I didn't have this in front of me, so I didn't have a chance to call or ask.
Okay.
It's not under warranty, the new gym? I mean, it's not even that old. Or is they're going to warranty that?
Pardon me?
Am I making sense or no?
No, right. Well, I'm wondering if when whoever did the grading did something, you know, because didn't we do outside work after
We did
the
outside
building was
work. We kind of
done?
have to dig, you know, it's partly with the water seeping in, and it depends on what kind of work. But when we ask this company to come out, they say that it just needs some sealant.
Okay.
It's down by where the bleachers are, underneath bleachers in the new gym.
Anything else on the bills? Anything on the consent agenda?
You know what, I missed a typo on when I was going over the minutes. It is November 9th for the special meeting, reports and discussion items. Third sentence should start with his recommendation, not he recommendation. Either it should, maybe he recommends that the board consider the services of or his recommendation is that the board consider.
Do you have a recommendation? Which one do you want it to
My
be?
recommendation would be, he recommends that the board consider.
Eric, are you?
Yeah,
Does that work?
we'll still sign and then I'll.
Right, and then you just change the.
Okay, so, back with the superintendent committee, that line, board members Karen O'Halloran, Gina Skilla, Nessa were designated as members of the superintendent committee. I thought it was the communication committee. So, and
Yeah.
that's how I understood it.
Okay, so modify the minutes to specifically name the committee.
It was called members of the communication committee.
I think that's,
To take out superintendent?
Also, the board discussed minimizing highlights and minutes to be more summative in nature. There was discussion. I felt that that was assuming that we would be videotaped, and we had even discussed that I was okay with that, assuming videotaping would occur. You know, I feel like we're putting out there that, you know, we want to minimize the highlights and be more some in nature. It might be perceived that we want to give less information out when there was discussion about, at the same time, videotaping. So I don't know if do you understand what I did you?
I understood it.
So I had put assuming videotaping would occur because I know I specifically even said that.
Yeah, why would we pare down the minutes if we said that
It was
if,
all going to be discussed in terms of communication committee though. That was all going to be a,
Right, it was
Part
all
of-
part of that.
right.
but what, I think, Karen, what you're getting at is if you read that sentence as a standalone sentence, it could be misconstrued. Is that what I'm
Exactly,
gathering
that's
from
my
it?
concern.
Okay.
Or maybe put in that before that, maybe put there was discussion. Well, we talked about
But,
possibly
but,
videotaping.
but, I
and-
mean, if you read the paragraph, I mean, it says the board discussed minimizing the highlights and minutes to be more limited than nature. Alternatives will be reviewed. So it's not like we're going to do that. It doesn't, I don't see where it says, it just says that we discussed that. It didn't
Okay.
say that we're going to do it.
an alternative.
You know what I mean? If it said that we were gonna do it, then I would
Right.
agree with what you're saying, and I'm not necessarily disagreeing, I'm just saying that this doesn't necessarily mean that that's going to occur.
The alternatives will be reviewed at the December board meeting. I would feel better that if you did nature comma, maybe it's around a sentence that, and just put a comma, alternatives will be reviewed. So that's all one sentence, so that you know that that's pertaining to that. What are alternatives?
Except that I think that the alternatives pertain to everything in the paragraph, in the paragraph. Videotaping, I mean, because videotaping's not in that sentence. Videotaping's in the sentence right prior. So all of
Okay.
that was going to be, I thought these weren't, we never walked out of that communication meeting with actions, other than to set up a superintendent's communication committee.
We know
We
that.
never, what's that?
We know that because we were there. We understand that.
Right.
But I said I was a little concerned that the perception would be that, you know,
Okay, and I understand that. I'm just saying that,
I don't know if there's a better way.
the board discussed versus the board acted on are like, you know, literally two different things.
Or even recommended.
Right.
I mean,
We just talked about it.
Discussed
And we
it,
talked
we
about
discussed it,
videotaping, we talked
decided.
about a number of things.
it wasn't something we wanted to do. Right? There's no,
No, it wasn't something that
My point
was
is-
decided upon because then we decided that there'd be,
right, my point is saying you discussed it doesn't
mean that we're gonna do
imply
something.
in
Right,
one direction or
right,
another.
right.
That you favored it or didn't favor
right.
it.
But if it does make,
Okay.
if it does make, but if it does make you more comfortable, I don't have an issue with it either way. I'm just saying that discussing it didn't mean that we're going to do it.
Do you have a recommendation though, Karen, on how you feel it could be rephrased to better communicate?
What?
I said I really
She really
don't.
wasn't.
Okay.
Other than like this and other alternatives,
Oh,
leading
that's
into that
okay.
leading into that next sentence, this and other, or
Oh, that's-
these and other
That
alternatives.
I like. These
Right.
and other alternatives. Thank you.
Anything else on the consent agenda?
I just had one thing. Kim Barker in the open forum, she would like to seek the board, she would like the board to see volunteers. She also volunteered for the committee, to be on the committee, so maybe we should say that because we don't even mention that she volunteered. She would like the board to seek volunteers who are experts in public relations and include them on the communication committee, and she volunteered for the to help. Did you?
Okay, how do you want that to read, Gina?
She also volunteered to be on the committee.